I am TJ, joined by Diana. This is Bureau of Prisons Watchers for Monday, June 8th, 2026.
Good to be here. We have a lot to cover today, and every single story affects real release dates.
We are leading with the big watchdog report. The Office of Inspector General found the Bureau of Prisons left $16.8 million in First Step Act funds unspent.
That is not a rounding error. That is congressionally approved money that was supposed to fund programs, and it just expired unused.
The OIG released its full evaluation in June 2026. The title is Evaluation of the Federal Bureau of Prisons' Use of First Step Act Funding and Program Implementation.
And the short version is the Bureau of Prisons had the money, it had the mandate, and it still did not get the job done.
As of April 2026, that $16.8 million had not been obligated before the availability window closed. The OIG calls this a serious financial control failure.
Here is why families should care. That money was supposed to pay for programming that directly determines whether someone earns FSA time credits.
No programs means no credits. No credits means no early release. The dollars sitting idle are not just a budget problem, they are a human problem.
And this is not the first time we have covered program shortages. Institutions have been reporting waitlists for RDAP and other recidivism reduction programs for years.
The OIG also released its semi-annual report to Congress covering October 2025 through the spring of 2026 alongside this evaluation. The announcement came May 28, 2026.
So what does this mean for someone sitting inside right now? It means the delays you are experiencing getting into programs are documented at the federal watchdog level.
That matters for attorneys. If a client cannot get into a program because it is not available at their institution, that is now supported by an OIG finding.
Families should ask their loved one which programs they are enrolled in, which they are waitlisted for, and how long they have been waiting. Document everything.
Attorneys can use the OIG report to push back if a client is being denied credits due to program unavailability. That is the Bureau of Prisons' fault, not the incarcerated person's fault.
All right, story 2. This one is actually good news for some people. The First Circuit Court of Appeals ruled on April 28, 2026, that FSA credits can begin accumulating before someone even arrives at a Bureau of Prisons facility.
This is a significant ruling. Before this, the Bureau of Prisons counted FSA credit eligibility from the moment someone arrived at a federal institution.
But many people spend weeks or months sitting in a state jail or county facility waiting for a transfer. Under old Bureau of Prisons practice, that time counted for nothing.
The First Circuit said that is wrong. If you are a federal inmate being held in a state facility while waiting for transfer, your FSA clock can start ticking.
Law 360 reported on the ruling, and it was cited by legal news outlets in early May. This is a real decision with real implications.
Now, the First Circuit covers Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Puerto Rico. That is its jurisdiction. This ruling is binding in those districts.
But other circuits may follow, and attorneys everywhere should be looking at clients who spent time in state custody before federal transfer to see if credits were miscalculated.
If your loved one sat in a county or state facility for 30, 60, 90 days before going federal, there could be FSA credits that were never applied to their account.
That could mean an earlier release date. Attorneys need to pull the timeline and check the math. This is exactly why accurate credit calculation matters so much.
Speaking of calculation, visit FSA4U.com if you need to run the numbers. We will mention that again at the end, but keep it in mind as we talk about these credit issues.
Story 3 is not good news. The Supreme Court ruled in Rutherford v. United States in May 2026, and it closes a legal path a lot of people were using.
The ruling says that a non-retroactive change in sentencing law does not count as an extraordinary and compelling reason to grant compassionate release.
Let us break that down. When Congress changes a law and says the change applies only to future cases, that is non-retroactive. People sentenced under the old law stay under the old law.
After the First Step Act passed in 2018, many people started arguing. The law changed, the punishment would be different today, so please reduce my sentence now.
Some courts agreed, some did not. The Supreme Court has now settled it. A law change alone, if it is not retroactive, does not get you compassionate release.
The legal citation is 18 U.S.C. 3582 CC 1A. That is the compassionate release statute. The High Court just narrowed how it can be used.
This does not eliminate compassionate release entirely. Medical conditions, age, caregiver situations, and other extraordinary circumstances still qualify.
But if your motion was built primarily on the argument that your sentence would be shorter under current law, this ruling is a direct hit to that argument.
Attorneys with pending motions that rely on sentencing disparity as the main argument need to revisit their filings immediately. The legal landscape just shifted.
And before we go to our final story, here is a quick Know Your Rights update. The Bureau of Prisons reversed its halfway house cuts from early April 2025.
If your loved one's halfway house placement was reduced or pulled back because of that short-lived April 2025 policy, it should have been restored.
The Bureau of Prisons says previously approved placement dates are being reinstated, but do not assume that happened automatically. Verify it directly with the case manager.
Call the facility, write the case manager. If the placement was not restored, push back in writing and involve the attorney if necessary.
Now, the Fourth Circuit has also weighed in on FSA credit eligibility. If any part of a combined sentence involves a disqualifying offense, the entire sentence may be ineligible for FSA credits.
This is a strict reading, and it is the law in the Fourth Circuit, which covers Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
If someone has a combined sentence involving any offense on the disqualifying list, they need an attorney to review that specific situation before counting on FSA credits.
Do not guess on this. The Fourth Circuit ruling is clear, and the consequences of miscalculating are real.
Let us bring it all together. Today we covered 4 major developments, and every one of them touches release timelines in some way.
The Bureau of Prisons left $16.8 million in FSA money unspent. Programs suffered. That is documented now and can be used in legal arguments.
The First Circuit said FSA credits can start accumulating while someone sits in state custody before federal transfer. Some people may be owed credits they never got.
The Supreme Court narrowed compassionate release by ruling that non-retroactive sentencing changes do not qualify as extraordinary and compelling reasons.
And the Fourth Circuit continues to take a strict line on FSA eligibility for anyone with a disqualifying offense in a combined sentence.
If you're an attorney, a family member, or an advocate, all of this information is relevant right now. Do not sit on it.
If you need help calculating FSA credits, collide dates, or RDAP timelines, visit FSA4U.com, the only calculator that actually gets it right. And if this show has been helpful, please subscribe and leave us a review. It helps families just like yours find us.
Thank you for listening. These are real people, real families, and real lives. We will be back tomorrow with more. Stay informed and stay strong.